How are we getting on? Are you well? You're looking well, Thomas. It's been a minute. And by minutes, I mean about a day. Dude, we stayed up to watch the Poirier versus McGregor thing. We had our heart broken. Had our heart broken hard, man.
Not even heartbroken, man, because I'm pretty happy for Dustin Poirier. That guy
Shut
deserves the hell out of that
shut the fuck up.
game.
Nah.
What? Stop it, will ya?
No, there's this whole thing like where you want to see the Irish lad do well because you're Irish, patriotism and all that. But yeah, realistically, Poirier had it in the bag. He was gonna get it no matter what. But
Absolutely. I
we,
mean,
we hyped it up so much on our social media. Like it was
we
gonna
did.
be carnage. It was gonna be like unreal stuff, and then man breaks own foot.
It's the thing, right? Everybody thought we were going to see the return of this old Connor, I guess. I don't know what they mean by that. It's like this guy who's aggressive, who's, you know, talks a load of shit, and just didn't see that at all, did we? I mean,
So
I
just
think all the thing I'm seeing on social media this week, man, is that he did all of the things that he said were bad. He shot first, tried the guillotine, went out on the stretcher. You know, it's like that's
um,
tough to watch, man.
it must be hard to go through. I couldn't imagine there's a public embarrassment like that, man. Like we were saying the other day, like you would. I wouldn't say his head's in the right place anyway. I'd say he's pretty fucked up from that. I would be at least.
Yeah,
Cause that's such a fucking public embarrassment, especially as like his ego where he sees himself like he's a billionaire. He's the double champ, and the whole Cage Warrior stuff too. Like in his mind, he's like one of the best fighters out there. And he's a good fighter, like, but I'd say that's just such a fucking embarrassment.
yeah, and Dana White says there's going to be a fourth fight, and I think it's going to be the first ever um, quadriplegic, whatever. I don't know. there's
Quadrilogy, yeah.
never there's never been two guys to have a fight four times in the UFC. That's
But in fairness, it's just it's the whole thing of like, okay, the leg broke. That's not really a fair fight. Now what? Where do we go? Apparently, according to Coach Kavanagh, it was Dustin um, was defending a head kick, and you could see Connor's and Connor ended up kicking an elbow, and the you could see the ankle roll in or the I guess the foot roll in slow motion, and he reckons that's where it went. But even when he put the foot back down, it didn't really go normal. So he was fighting with like a shattered foot without realizing or hiding it very
yeah,
well until
yeah,
the Chris Weidman thing happened. Where he's man that looked awful. Yig.
yeah. It did, man. It was tough to watch. That's only ever happened. I think a foot breakage like that has only ever happened three times, and it's Silva, Weidman, and now Connor. They're getting a little bit too common for my liking, man, because I don't like seeing that shit. you know?
Yeah, to be honest, man, it's just hard to watch.
Mm.
Um,
I I know
just
Dana's
chug.
talking about a fourth fight, man. I don't think it should be an immediate rematch. There's no way. It should definitely be because like Dustin's gonna fight for the title now, right? And okay, if Dustin loses the title, sure, book that rematch. But if he wins, Connor's got to go through a couple of guys to get a title
No,
shot
he's Conor McGregor. He only has to go through Nate Diaz.
in a different division.
I
It's
thought
ridiculous.
he was having Nate Diaz at some point. I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
maybe Nate Diaz would go down weight, but
Nah, he won't.
Connor's not putting
Ideas.
on the weight. Well, maybe he does. Like some fighters, they go into heavyweight when they get older.
Suppose.
Like you ever see a 40-year-old featherweight? No,
I mean, yeah. Tony
no.
Ferguson. Ferguson's 39.
You ever see a good?
Ah, man.
Uh
You're gonna piss off a lot of people with
no,
statements
no,
like
no.
that, man. That guy was undefeated for like a couple of years, 10 fights. Don't you dare do that to Tony Ferguson.
He's the kind of guy who would defeat himself just to make everyone feel better. Yeah, I don't know.
But I think that's actually a fun fight to make now when Connor gets back. Ferguson versus Connor. If the guy, they're both looking for big wins, and the two of them are pretty big names.
Meh,
Meh.
meh. I don't know. I just like McGregor was winning. He would have done better.
I mean, he was winning, man. Dustin Poirier was winning on all the judges' cards.
Mm,
Ground and pound. He kind of won on the feet there just before Connor went for a takedown.
Groundies. I don't know, man. When you're at the point of a guy who's got a broken ankle, I don't know what else they could do. And anyway, look, I hope it goes well again, but it was a hard thing to watch, hard thing to accept still.
It wasn't even the best fight of the night now because that goes to Chris Martino and Sugar Sean, man. That fight was fucking incredible. You have
Yeah,
this guy who's an amazing striker, whose stand-up game is nearly flawless, I'll give it to him, versus this guy who is just going to go down. It was amazing watching Chris Martino. How many strikes was it? Was it 400 out of a possible strikes that landed?
yeah. There was a lot of strikes that landed, but a lot more thrown. I think O'Malley had something like 80% land, which is fucking impressive. But it wasn't any Max Holloway. But I tell you, that guy was just in there fucking absorbing punches like fucking water to a sponge,
Mm,
and he was fine afterwards. I see this thing
yeah.
of like DC approaching him after like you're the toughest motherfucker I've ever met, and he was just sitting there eating a fucking like slice of pizza or something after the fight.
What do you
I
think
don't
of
know
the
what he was
stoppage?
eating. Stoppage. Initially at the time I was like, why? Your man was defending himself a little bit, but they I don't know they've stopped. I don't know they stopped more slower than that before.
Uh,
Like you've seen heavyweight ground and pound where you think the guy's head's gonna cave in, and they wouldn't stop that, but they stop a guy on his feet trying to defend himself from four punches.
mm,
So I don't know. O'Malley's a fucking hard hitter too. You see his
oh,
knockout reel?
I haven't seen his knockout reel. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's
impressive.
pretty fucking intense. But on other news, besides the UFC making me and Thomas want to fucking die or celebrate, um,
Ah, no. I'm a bit sad over Connor, man. I'm still big into UFC. There were some really good performances despite the main card not going the right way. You had
yeah,
Marcus Duplessis do extremely well. Bam Bam Tuivasa, Sean O'Malley fight,
Bam
Ari
Bam was a beast.
Nandana. Man, there were some very, very good fights on that card last night.
Someone spiked his shoey with hot sauce.
Yeah,
I
that's
That's so beautiful. That's MMA, man. That's the UFC fucking
pretty
fan
sure it was
base.
pretty sure it was Dustin Poirier's hot sauce as well,
It
actually.
was. It was.
That's funny.
Um. Yeah. What was it? And Dustin's defense that was like, don't blame the sauce, blame the feet. But yeah, the Euros happened. They're finished
Yes.
now. It didn't go home. It went to Rome. And
Tyrone.
dude, the carnage that's come after, it's been outrageous. The poor lads did the penalties, getting called monkeys, and like they're getting spammed. They're getting all sorts of shit. And then the English fans were like beating up like Italian people. I seen videos of it first thing this morning, about 6 a.m. And I was just thinking, what the fuck, lads? There's a reason people are complaining about the English fans at the moment. And again, with the shitty behavior, like were they shining laser pointers at someone in the match?
They put a bad name on the sport, and they put a bad name on the English. Like them booing the Italian national anthem, Denmark national anthem, Ukrainian national anthem. Like the manager of England begged them not to do it, and they still did it. Then them, like people broke into the stadium, like fans broke in so they didn't have to pay for tickets. Then they're beating the shit out of people, and I don't know, man. It's just disgraceful behavior from the English fans. Like if they had won, they'd call them the greatest fucking team that ever lived, and if they lost, it's all the backlash that Marcus Rashford, Jordan Sancho, and you know Bukayo Saka have been experiencing online. It's horrible.
Yeah, man, it's a rough one, but what can you do? It, like obviously doesn't represent everyone over there and the average fan, but it just
Yeah.
showed I don't know how many bad like normally a couple bad eggs win it for everyone, but it seems they got the full fucking carton of bad eggs and they went hard.
Did you see all the videos that came out of London yesterday, man?
No, I was told about it. I didn't see it. What happened?
Lads standing on top of buses. Bus drivers had to stop, got out of the bus. There was lads shoving fireworks where sun don't shine. There was, I swear to God, there's a video. Yeah, there's lads just in the nip, just dancing on top of stuff. Like it's
Yeah,
just an excuse for all these fucking weirdos to come out and think, it's for the. I don't really get it, man. It's so fucking weird. I'm so happy Italy won. They went
Yeah,
to England and bet England. It's just huge for Italy. They played so well yesterday, and they deserve that win so much.
yeah. It's a bit like the McGregor thing. Like you're kind of wanting the better sportsman to win. Like
Yeah,
I'm referring to like Dustin being the better
yeah,
one.
yeah.
Like
Poirier, of course.
it's a rough one to look at. I don't know. Two sports disappointments over the weekend, at least in my eyes. Maybe in yours you're happy with the Dustin thing, but
Happy
I
with
don't know.
Dustin, man. I'm happy with Italy
Dustin
winning.
was the better guy by a fucking mile, and he's doing all this work with pygmies
Yeah.
in Africa. Fair play to him.
Guys,
Doing good stuff.
the guy's a king, and that's what
Yeah,
you want from a proper champ. Not Connor, who, yeah, I don't know, never defended a belt, only took the money fights, kind of. It's
he is the
there's
money fight. In fairness,
he is a money fighter.
like
Yeah,
you
you're
put
right.
him against like the likes of like Chad Mendez, who wasn't that big of a name. He was big enough, but
Yeah,
wasn't like pulling people in. You put him against that huge fucking fight.
it's kind of
You know,
always amazed me how well people do after fighting Connor. I mean, Jose Aldo went back to win the interim featherweight champion and then moved down to bantamweight to become the champion. Max Holloway became the featherweight champion. Dustin Poirier, interim champion. Khabib went on to defend his belt twice, just like even though he didn't lose, but you know, it's just amazing what it does for you because people seem to come back stronger after fighting the guy. Chaz Mendes now, I know he retired, but I think there's talks of him coming back.
he's training anyway.
Yeah, I mean, losing to him doesn't seem to be the worst thing in the world,
Yeah, uh,
you know.
but apparently winning to him might be.
Mm,
Because I don't know. I reckon Dustin's gonna get fucking harassed now for the next while. It's
probably.
unfortunate, but it's kind of like that WWE thing of like it doesn't seem all that real, but UFC is real. Like it
Yeah.
is fully legit. I know there's a
Think
lot of
about yesterday, man.
showmanship, and even Dustin acknowledged that. Like, there's a lot of showmanship, but when he started threatening murder, there's no coming back from that. That's just fucking outrageous.
Seems like the weirdest kind of reality TV show that's on every Saturday because you have all these different characters from all walks of life just coming together and they all have this common goal and that's to become well like the greatest of all time and they've had people do it in the past and there'll be guys in the futures to do it as well. So I'm no man. Next big one now is Derek Lewis versus Cyril Gane for the interim heavyweight champion title.
Meh.
I know that's gonna go 266. There hasn't been a really big fight announced for UFC 266 in September. So
GSP versus Khabib. Word. Could you imagine? No.
I'm thinking it's gonna be Kamaru Usman though. It's gonna have a fight announced versus either
Yeah.
Colby or Leon or
He said something about coming soon, so
yeah. So I think there's gonna be a fight announcement for him pretty soon.
he's a good old fighter, Usman. As much as I give him a bollocking, so I look forward to seeing how that goes.
I think he's gonna
Um,
be a champion for a while, man. I don't see anybody beating him too soon. I
uh,
think Colby will give him a good fight now, and Leon be able
he
to give
broke
him a good
Colby's
fight.
jaw. It's the money fight because Colby's a shit talker. But realistically, Usman's gonna maul him. Jorge, I thought had the best chance, and Jorge has a viral knockout now. It may be even one on the same level of his one versus Askren.
I think
Uh,
Leon Edwards would do a good job against him because Leon Edwards is very technically savvy.
oh fuck yeah, Leon Edwards. If anyone has a chance, Leon
Yeah,
Edwards
and
is a beast, man. Like he went toe to toe with Nate Diaz and mauled him, all but like the last round. But
not even last round, the last minute he got caught with a big punch, which man, it's MMA. That happens. People
if
give
it
him a lot of shit because
if
he
Nate
got
was
hit by
anyone
a big
else,
punch.
if
You
Nate was
know,
anyone else, he would have ended it right there.
it's not exactly Nate. Nate. People say Nate's like a good fighter and great fighter, but the guy didn't finish the fight. He could have won. He could have probably had a title shot. you know, isn't that crazy? Nate Diaz never got a title shot. He's never fought for a
That's
title.
ridiculous. But
I know,
yeah,
right? His brother now fought for two or three of them because he fought GSP and Anderson Silva, but
yeah.
Nate Diaz, probably one of the biggest names
But
in the sport, has never fought for a title.
didn't Diaz say like GSP like poisoned them and shit?
A
And then
lot of
like
them say that.
years later,
It,
GSP's and Joe Rogan like it's true, Nick. It was me. I poisoned you. I'm publicly announcing it now. You know.
Same with Colby, right? Colby claims that Usman. No, he claimed he was food poisoned. He didn't say Usman did it now, but he said he ordered a burger from halfway across New York City,
It
and
was
when it
opened
got
when he
there,
got there.
no, it was cold when it got there, and he ate it. So said he was food poisoned for his fight. That's why he
Dude,
lost.
food poison's a real thing, so
No, of course, it's a real thing,
sure.
but like,
But also, it's very easy to throw out like the opponent did something. And a lot of people do it, like even like in boxing. I wonder has anyone ever proved that it happened?
did you hear what Deontay Wilder said? By the way,
I've seen all of his shit, yeah.
no. I know. He said a lot of stuff about that last one, right? But about this upcoming one with him. Let me just bring it up real quick. Now I'm going to bring it up. Let me look it up what it was because it sounded just ridiculous. If I'm able to find it, there it is. Yeah, Deontay Wilder said that. Oh no, that's it being postponed. Wow, I look like an idiot now. Give me a minute.
Get it up. Yeah, he's a weird character. So he is. You
Wilder.
know, a viral clip of like to this day.
Okay, no. Deontay Wilder says that Tyson Fury has a master plan to cheat in an upcoming fight.
Okay, honest to God, fuck off, dude. It's embarrassing, especially when you're such like a high caliber fighter.
It is, and but like the thing is, if he thinks he has actually does have a plan to cheat, it's like why even fight him then? You know,
Yeah, look,
if he thinks he's a big fucking cheater, like he claims, and there's a reason why he did not say anything during their press conference together. You know, it's because he's talking all this shit, and now the guy who's sitting beat him to the bollocks is sitting right beside him. Like
yeah, but when you're
that
not a
fight's
champ that long, you know, you justify in your mind that oh, you mustn't be you in the wrong. You're the best fighter on
no,
earth.
you're right. You're right.
That kind of thing.
That fight's been postponed as well now to October because Tyson Fury got COVID.
COVID will do that to you.
It would. It
Yeah.
does. So, I mean, the next big upcoming fight, if you think about in boxing now, is, and I hate to say this, but it's Jake Paul versus Tyrone Woodley.
So when is that?
It's probably in it's August 29th, so about
If
2 months.
I won't even be home for that, I think I'll be in Sligo. But I reckon if Tyron loses that, it's just a horror show.
Horror show.
Honest to God. I actually prefer to see them in the UFC,
Of course you
Paul
would.
brothers, because even if they did well, you know, because I don't know, there's more tools at your disposal. Boxing is so limited, and I think that's why people gravitate.
Well,
When I thought take a combat sports, they gravitate more towards MMA.
man, the Paul brothers are smart like that because they know if they do MMA, that the first thing that's going to happen is they're going to try to get taken down.
But they're wrestlers, like they've trained with Paulo Costa, and they did pretty good against Paulo Costa.
I suppose. Yeah. You're right. Who knows?
And he's pretty steady on his feet ever since he became a flat earther. There's no bending there.
Stop it. Who do you think? What do you think happens if Jake Paul beats Tyron Woodley? Who do you think he fights next?
I think
I think it's Nate Diaz.
I think someone offers him an actual boxer offers him a proper fight.
Nah,
He
man.
goes for it.
Be Nate Diaz. Swear to God.
I wouldn't be surprised if Money Mayweather said, "Let's go."
Thing is, he said he wouldn't want to fight Jake because Jake weighs 190, like he's a cruiserweight, and Mayweather is 155, 160. So
Yeah, but he still fought Logan at 190.
exhibition. I don't want to see an exhibition fight. I think Jake doesn't want an exhibition fight.
Didn't one of
Jake
them say they
wants.
want to fight Mike Tyson?
Logan said he wants to fight Mike Tyson.
That's not fair. That's not fair. You got like a 20-something-year-old in his peak of like a giant weight against literally old man Tyson. Like, come on, it's not fair.
Yeah, it's a bit weird them calling them 50-year-olds. It's
It's like if I said I want to fight Evander Holyfield, you know, like it's just stupid. Like, how old is he?
53, 56.
50.
Maybe.
If he's 56, like,
He's fighting again though. He's coming back to fight.
but even at that point, like, you get like a guy who's like in his 50s and 60s, You train a 20-year-old to amateur level, he'll probably give him a good fight
Mm,
because there's
Absolutely.
just the cardio goes, man. Like everything goes when you're getting that old, and if you haven't trained, it would like when you're younger, it just comes on that fast. Like
Yeah.
I was talking to everyone's favorite Sergeant Woods yesterday, and we ended up talking about recovery in sport. He did in one of his was it he broke his elbow or he broke his knee or something. It was one or the other, and like it just took him out of the sport at his peak. Um, he was 25. He didn't get to recover till he was 32, and it just was never the same. But you know him, like he played at a pretty high level anyway.
Yeah, in hockey.
He was
Yeah.
actually getting paid to play hockey.
Yeah.
I wouldn't imagine it's very employable, but fucking fair play to him. But
It has. And apparently
you
he
know,
got a pretty nice cereal commercial out of it as well.
there you go, the Wheaties commercial. It's a sound old one. I might even link it below. Um, but yeah, it's one of those things. Recovery is so easy when you're younger, but then when you're older, like imagine like Evander got the same injury, he'd probably never fix it.
No. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it's a rough one.
They don't
Um,
like. That's why they don't let really old guys do UFC now. They kind of mellow out. Maybe I know Yoel Romero was 40 when he's left the UFC. He's at Bellator now, but
but Yoel Romero is jacked. He's known for having the best physique in the business. Do you think he takes anything, or you think he's legit?
he's legit. I don't think
I
he'd get
think so
away
as
with it.
well. I think he's legit as well.
I know now you said I have passed that rule where you're allowed to do marijuana, so they won't punish you, penalize you for doing marijuana during the fights now. So
Dude, that poor chick in the Olympics who's not allowed to compete now because of that.
so dumb, man.
It is so fucking outrageous. It
Mm.
hurts.
Olympics is a weird one, man. It's I don't even think I'll watch maybe the boxing, but that's about it. I don't not really that interesting in it. Like doesn't really matter, for these athletes competing, I'm sure it's one of the biggest moments of their careers. But like, I'm not that interested in that, to be perfectly honest with you. Now
Mm.
I'll be looking forward to the
Still,
World Cup next year.
man, the Olympics is a way to go. Like they need to start paying people. Like
Yeah,
we've had how many Olympians on before? Well, I
two or
think
three.
we had a good streak of having a few on at the
Yeah,
start, and like I know Olympians as well. Like they got funded by sponsors, but the sponsors are only like a new thing because of social media. I know a guy who did the archery Olympics, or he was in the Olympics in the 70s, did archery in it, like the late 70s, and there's my phone. Um, like he only got started getting like the sponsors later in his life, years after the Olympics, because back then it was nothing. So he just had his normal gig. He went to work and he trained archery for the rest of his day.
mm,
And then he got to the Olympics, didn't pay him, didn't do fucking anything. He
yeah.
got to be on TV, like, and maybe people watched more back then, but fucking hell, man, just rough.
All right.
Yeah,
Mm,
pay,
all right.
pay him better, everyone.
Before
Um,
we finish up this little thing, man, let's just talk about Black Widow came out this weekend. We went to go see it. Can we get a little spoiler-free review rating, Jared? What do you think?
the villain is something that's never been seen in the MCU before. He is just a dude, but I think he represents Harvey Weinstein. So that's all I'll say. It's my interpretation, not a spoiler.
I think for a female-led superhero film, it is better than Captain Marvel, but worse than Wonder Woman.
Fuck yeah. It's
It
not worse
is.
than Wonder Woman.
It
Wonder
is.
Woman was devoid of logic.
No, the first one.
Oh, the second one was meh.
Oh, the second one is sadly not as good as the first one.
But
The,
yeah,
the, the original Wonder Woman, like it's one of the best superhero films, regardless of gender. You know,
Captain Marvel was just not very good. This one was actually really good. It made me think more about the character. It makes me appreciate how they developed her without giving her a movie initially, and how they
should
expanded on it
should have happened
afterwards.
before Infinity War.
Fuck yeah.
Absolutely,
They've
it
had
should have
that.
been.
They've had that on the burner for about a year and a half, haven't they?
To have them.
So
It should have happened before Infinity War. Sadly, we got it now, and last episode of Loki comes out this week. Looking forward to that as well.
oh, that's
Looks
this
really
week.
good.
But
It's probably going to end on a big cliffhanger, Jared, simply because that season 2 has been announced. Loki.
Yeah. People are calling it like a solution to Doctor Who turning shit because it's all this interdimensional, go on weird adventures kind of thing.
Yeah,
And like, he was a Time Lord, and these are time variants. Like, it's interesting.
makes sense.
Yeah, like apparently Doctor Who fans are running over to it. Um,
Pretty good.
uh, sure. I used to watch Doctor Who as well. I thought it was pretty shit recently, but Loki's pretty spot on. It's kind of got the similar themes. So yeah. Anyway, look, we've chatted for 25 odd minutes now, and I tell you now, we're probably still bollocks from the weekend. But if you want to support the channel, you can check out Manscaped, too, buddy, or you can just leave an old subscribe, tell a friend, like, comment, the whole shebang, the whole 9 yard. If you did all of those, Thomas he'd be thinking about you at night, so he would. So be sound, have a good one, and bye bye.